Okay folks, so let's go through the menus. One thing I want to tell you guys about the Pulsar line of products, they've pretty much standardized on their menus. Now I just did a long press on the rotary selector knob. So I'm at menu 1, and as you rotate the knob counterclockwise or clockwise, you'll scroll through the menus. So we'll look at mode first. Right now I have it on forest mode. I do a lot of hunting out in the woods and the fields. You have you have rocks, and then you have identification as well. Now we go calibrate. You can go manual, which essentially you have to close the front objective scope cover and calibrate in that manner. You have semi-automatic and you have automatic. Now I choose to go in semi-automatic mode just with my experience with the thermals, in that I can choose when I want to calibrate the thermal optic. If you go in automatic mode, essentially what happens is it will auto calibrate whenever the conditions warrant. That can be a good thing and a bad thing. I have found that sometimes I'll miss the money shot on a kill shot, so I like to dictate when I actually calibrate. Notice now I haven't pressed the button for a while, so it automatically kicks you out. We'll go ahead, and if you notice the vertical lines, I have to calibrate, so I'm going to press the middle button on the top of the scope. And you'll hear that shutter, and it got rid of those lines. So let's go back in. So that's mode, calibrate, and this is an awesome feature. Right now I have my 6 PDK set up to shoot the 58 grain Barnes bullets, Varminators. In my initial sight-in, I was shooting the 85 grain Barnes TSX, and you actually have 3 weapon systems you can choose from, and that's pretty awesome because you can customize the reticle. More importantly, you customize the sight-in. So I can take this thermal scope off this rifle, put it on another rifle, save those settings, or in this case I have 2 different reloads that I'm going to be shooting out of this rifle. Next selection is your reticle. It has 10 selections. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Right now I'm having a preference toward 8. So you just press the button until it flashes. Next selection is your brightness of your icons. Next selection is the color of your reticle. Go red, green, white, or black. I like red right now. One press saves it. Next one can go color of the icons. We'll go white for now. Typically I keep it on blue, but for the sake of this video, the white has the best contrast. And this is the awesome feature which sold me on the scope, is the PIP, picture in a picture. Right now I have that set up as yes. We'll look at that a little bit later on. Okay, so let's go ahead and wrap up to the top. Hit the button once, you get to menu 2. Scroll down. Now this is a critical sight-in. Now you see that red X, that is, the crosshair is rotated 45 degrees. So what you do is you shoot. I actually sighted this rifle in with 2 shots. I shot at 25 yards just to get me on the paper, and then I shot at 100 yards. And what you have to do is you shoot, and then you have to keep the rifle fully immobilized, and then you move that red X. Well, I'll move the X. Remember, it's 17. See how it moves? Press the button once. Remember, it's 24. See how that moves? Press it again to save it. Press it again. Long press, and you got OK. This is a snowflake feature. And of course, you all know I love my video gun sight footage. Here in the United States, we have NTSC, PAL if you're in Europe, or off. Now, one thing to note, if you don't take any video output, I would suggest you leave the video mode in the off mode. It will save on your batteries. So let's go back into menu 2. Clock setup, pretty self-explanatory. Now this looks like a little Wi-Fi signal. That is actually your remote. If you choose to use a remote connector, it's a 3-button connector. You can switch between these 2 different contrast backgrounds. And this is a freeze frame zeroing, which I don't use. And that's pretty much about it. I mean, you know, Pulsar, I feel, is a leader in thermal optics and night vision equipment. They make their menus very easy to use. Nothing super complicated, nothing fancy. I'll go ahead and hit the semi-automatic calibrate again. Now, if you notice, I'll do a split pip on the video here. This is your focusing ring right near the front objective, and what I love about this, it has a lever. Now, of course, the typical range of the scope minimum is about 15 meters. I'm in my indoor shooting / archery range. I actually shoot, that's an extruded rubber backstop in my archery also. I could focus down to about that range. Later on, I'll take the scope outside and we'll look at some cool features. Alright folks, I'm outside my backyard, one of my neighbor's houses. I've laser range find that house before. It's 136 yards. Right now this is white hot. We'll go ahead and try to focus a little bit better. That's about as good as we're going to get her. I'll switch to black hot, long press on the first button. Hit auto calibrate again. Phenomenal detail. I'll do the PIP, picture in a picture, which is going to come in handy on some of them longer shots. We'll go ahead and pan around to the woods here. I don't trip over my tripod legs. Notice how I just press the auto calibrate. I mean, it is just pitch black down in those woods. My trees are probably about, I'm guessing, 30 yards. The detail on the scope is phenomenal. Just phenomenal. You wouldn't even know it was nighttime. There's the pip. Go back to white hot. Auto calibrate again. You know, people ask me, well, what do you like better, white hot or black hot? Well, it really depends on the what the day was like, the day, you know, during the daytime. Typically, if it's really humid like it is now, I'll switch to black hot, like that. I just seem to pick up the game animals better. However, I think in the winter time, I'll probably go back to white hot. It just depends. I'm curious to see what the snow is going to look like. So anyways, this is Nito, the Invisible Man with Pulsar Night Vision. Hope you enjoyed the introductory video to the Pulsar Apex XD75A thermal scope. Awesome piece of equipment. I will be using this on my upcoming coyote hunts. Hope you enjoyed the video.